Happy Monday. Mondays are really exciting days in this business because we have the National Wake Up Call, and that happens 8 a.m. Pacific time. Every Monday morning we get to hear from top coaches, or even a couple weeks ago we got to hear from some newer coaches that are finding success. So it's really exciting, always a great way to start the week. And if you're anything like me, my goal is to have every day like a Monday and to not have to worry about going to work, clocking in. And that's my ultimate goal, but we all have different goals in this business, and that's the awesome part of it. Today I'm really excited to talk to you a little bit about Facebook. So this is going to be a two-part series. I'm going to do a little video on it, and then Elise is going to be talking to you in a post later tonight about more things Facebook. So have my notes so I don't forget anything. The thing about Facebook, and it's always changing, pretty much social media in general is always changing. And I don't know if you've heard of what the algorithms are. Basically, Facebook decides who sees your posts, whose posts you see, and how often they get to see them. So you may feel like you're posting and posting and posting and nobody's commenting because you think, oh, they don't like it. In all reality, a lot of times it's because they're not seeing it. So how do you get away from that, and how do you get more people viewing your posts? What you got to do is you got to be consistent. Very consistent. And the recommendation is to be posting 3 to 5 times a day on your Facebook. So in the beginning, that may seem like so much to you. It did to me, because if I was lucky, I posted once a day before, and that's even more than most people that I know. I felt like I posted all the time because I posted once a day, but now I gotta post at least 3 to 5 times a day. So I usually post 3 times a day, sometimes 5, but I average 3 a day. I try to do kind of morning, midday, evening. You just have to play around with it and figure out what time is best for you, your followers. So for me, as a young mom, maybe afternoon might be good because that's nap time for the kids and mom is on the phone. Late at night might be good because after you put the kids to bed. Early in the morning, it just kind of depends. For me, without a doubt, I usually find the most traction kind of evening time, dinner time, between 7 to 9. It's usually when I get the most traction, but again, it may be different for you. So it's just trial and error. One tip that I have learned is that, say you post something in the morning or midday and it doesn't really get good traction, doesn't really get a good following, then delete it and try posting it again at night. Because chances are most people didn't even see it, so they're not even going to know. So you have to be consistent in posting. The more you post, the more Facebook is going to show your posts to people. So basically, they are gonna like you and know that you're serious about this, and so you're gonna show up in more people's news feeds. One thing you can do is the more likes and the more comments you get, the more your post is shown. So you have some coaching friends, get a little success pod group going. I'm in a group with some other coaches, and when we post like a call to action post or a workout or something, sometimes they'll go in there and send them a message like, hey, can you show some love on my post? And they'll go in and they'll comment on it, kind of not making it obvious that you're just another coach. So say you're doing one for a challenge group, they'll post like, yeah, I'm in, and obviously I'm not going to like add them into the group, but that gets up the traction. So your post is going to be seen more because there's more comments and more likes. So that's also kind of a good thing to do to your coaches and your friends. You will notice that after a while, you are mainly seeing coaches on your newsfeed because that is who you're probably commenting on. So Facebook used to have an interest list where you could categorize people, and I just realized they discontinued that. They do not have that anymore. And so I'm trying to figure out a new system. Basically, you can just have a group of people, when you add new friends to your contacts, you can add them to a list so that you are making sure that you go onto their profile and you're commenting on their stuff. Because the more you show up on their profile and you're commenting and liking, then they're going to show up on yours. It's just, that's kind of how it works. So, how do you find friends? My favorite way to find friends, which is not a scary way, is to go on to, if you just go to your friend request things, it'll go to find friends, and then it'll come up with people you may know. And so it has already come up with a whole list of people for you, and it'll tell you how many friends you have in common with each person. And so I will usually see what kind of friends they are that I have in common with. If I have a whole bunch of coaching friends in common with that person, then I won't add them. But if I have other friends, like from church or from school or from high school, whatever it is, then I will send them a friend request. And when they see that you have all these friends in common, they're more likely to add you versus you just adding a complete stranger that you have no idea who it is. So you add them. Then when they accept, what you can do is you can send them a message and be like, hey, thanks for the ad. I saw that we have tons of friends in common and you look super familiar. How do I know you again? Or whatever, or if you actually remember them, like, how have you been? And send them just a simple message like that so that they can see and you come up in their news feeds because you're messaging them and you're talking with them. You can, if you go onto Facebook, let me check and tell you exactly how to do it. I kind of forgot. If you go to your friends, find friends. So if you click, yeah. Okay. Go to your profile. Go to your friends. Then on friends, there's recently added. So if you go to your recently added, you can go through the list. I am so sorry. I must be tired. I keep yawning. If you go to your recently added, then you can go through and pick people and pick a handful a day and go in and send them the message. That makes it super simple to send them that new message. Adding, you don't want to go crazy and add like 100 people in a day. Facebook will put you in Facebook jail for that. And they don't allow you, they'll spam. Basically, they consider you spam and like you're not a real person. So they say like 5 to 10 a day is a good number to add. And if you think about it, 5 to 10 a day times 7, what is that? About 70 a week times 4. And you're adding, and you're constantly adding new people. One thing that I have been wanting to do, and I can't say that I have done it yet, but I've heard great success with, and is my plan to do, is when you add these people, you send them a message, you put them into a separate group. So that's why I wanted to use interest lists before. I'm so mad they don't have them anymore. But you can use things like Google Streak, TeamZ. These are tracking systems. Asana. Those are some. TeamZ you have to pay for, but it is made by a Beachbody coach. But we'll talk about tracking later this week. I want to get into that. But you can kind of create a group, put those new people for that month in a group so that when you are having a new group coming up, like a new challenge group, and if you send out an event page for it, you can invite those people versus setting an event page for every group and you're sending it to the same people every single month. They're going to get irritated by that. So that's one option you can do with that. So you find those friends, I like to find them just common friends that we have in common. You can go on forever with that. Another way is to join groups on Facebook. So think of the things that you are interested in. Are you a mom? Do you like hiking? Are you a runner? Do you like DIY stuff, crocheting, adventures things, whatever it is? Find groups on Facebook. There's tons and tons of different groups. Find the groups, add yourself in, and you can go in and you can comment on people's posts and just comment as like a regular person and just build those friendships. And then, you can create a conversation going, and then you can maybe send them a personal message and be like, hey, I really liked what you had to say in the group, or I really like your shoes, where did you get them? Or just like a simple message, nothing salesy, nothing like you have an ulterior motive. You really are just wanting to create those friendships. And so the more you show up in the groups, the more you will find people. When I do free groups, I did a relationship group in February, and I just posted in one of my church mom groups. It's like, hey, I'm just putting this group together, and we're just going to be doing fun little date night ideas and stuff. Does anybody want to join? And I got like over 30 new contacts from that, new friends. Again, I did a freezer meal prep one, same group, got a ton of people. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. So, you can find a lot of people in these groups. That's a great way to do it. So, personal page versus like page. That's a big question that we get. When I started with a like page and my personal page. And I built my like page, and I was super overwhelmed. Very overwhelmed in the beginning. Just the fact of trying to post 3 to 5 times a day was overwhelming me, and then to try to post on my like page, it was killing me. So I eventually stopped, and to be honest, haven't really done much with my like page since. Now, there are many other coaches who pretty much only use their like page, and they don't really use their personal page. And then there's top coaches that use their personal page and don't really use a like page. So there's pros and cons to both, and you just have to figure out what is best for you and what you can handle. My advice is to just pick 1 or 2 things and master those first, and then you can add on something else. So if a like page, if you feel like you've mastered your Facebook personal page and your Instagram and you want to move on to something else and you want to try your like page, then go for it. And I can help you set it up if you're one of my coaches. And, but the benefit to having a like page is that, number 1, you can schedule posts straight through that. So that's kind of cool. You don't have to have a third-party scheduling app or website to do it for you. You can just do it straight from there. You can have the ability to do ads and boosts and all that, which I will talk about in a minute. The other thing is you have kind of a long-term growth ability. So with a personal page, you max out at 5,000 friends. So once you reach 5,000, you're not allowed to have any more friends. But they can follow you, but then you're not seeing their stuff. So with a like page, there's no max. They can always follow you. So one thing you can do is when you have a like page and somebody likes your page, then you can add them on your personal page, and then you kind of grow deeper connection. A lot of coaches I see, they do post similar things from their like page to their personal page, but maybe their like page is more fitness and more of the fitness side of it and nutrition side of it than their personal page is. But you kind of decide. For me, some people, their followers right off the bat on their personal page hated the fact that they were posting exercises and about a shake and all this stuff. For me, I've always been into fitness, so it wasn't a huge adjustment for my followers. They actually really like my videos, and so I don't feel the need necessarily to have a like page at the moment. It is something that I want to grow eventually, but again, do what you feel is best for you in the moment. Don't overwhelm yourself, because in the beginning it is a lot. So don't try and do everything, because let me tell you, there is everything. I want to do everything. I want to do a YouTube channel. I want to do all these things, but I can't do it all. So you figure out what's best. So as far as boosting goes, if you know anything about boosting an ads on Facebook, boosting a post basically just is your post, and you can pay like $5 or $10 Facebook, and they will boost the post so that people see it. Again, it goes back to the algorithms. People are not seeing it. I have heard people say that you shouldn't really boost a post until you have like 1,000 followers. And then say you did like a Motivation Monday, Transformation Tuesday post or something, and you want people to see it. You can boost that, and you can target the people that already follow you. So you're not targeting random people. It's people that already follow you, and it's just going to show up in their feed so that they actually see it. You can do for ads. I don't want to go into detail about that. There's a lot of ads training. It's not necessary in the beginning. I wouldn't do it in the beginning. Josh Coates, he's one motivational speaker and coach. He does a lot of ads. He swears on it. So there is a lot of Chalene Johnson. She does a lot of Facebook ads. So there's a lot of benefit to doing them. But in the beginning, I wouldn't worry about it. It's something that you can kind of look into and get more training. There's lots of places that you can pay for training or even YouTube it. Finally, the last thing that I want to talk to you about is Facebook Live. That's huge. Going live is a very good idea. Facebook loves live video, and they will show your video to more people. They will show your video more than they will show a video that you post that you've already recorded. So those don't get shown as often. But a live video does. The more comments you get, the longer you're on and the more people are interacting, the more people are going to see it. People like live videos. They can see you. They get a feel for you. It's unedited. It's just kind of a nice thing. So I would definitely make it a point to go live. I know it's scary, but you can do it. Just be yourself. Come up with different topics. You can show like how you make Shakeology cookies, or you can show a little workout that you're doing. You can talk about, I think one time I talked about 5 steps to becoming motivated. I just Googled it. You can talk about your day, something, just anything that people can relate to you about. Get interaction. And so one other thing that you can do kind of as a goal is to track your network growth. So with a live page, you can make that a goal to, I'm going to have X amount of followers by X date. And that's kind of a fun thing that you can track. So that's all. This video went a little longer than I hoped, but there's a lot to Facebook, and there's a ton more. These things are not things that you are going to be born knowing. I didn't know 99% of this stuff when I first started. It's the stuff that I've learned over the last year and a half. Educate yourself. YouTube it. There's a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. That's a really good book. There's tons of resources out there, and it's just really trial and error, and you'll figure it out. And so there's tons of opportunity out there, and social media is amazing. So take advantage of it. We are so lucky to have this free marketing. So hope you're having an awesome day. Let's make it a great week. Happy Monday. Bye, guys.